where the Election Commission has extended the ban on rallies till January the 22nd. Remember this decision that had been announced by the Election Commission, keeping in mind the rising number of COVID cases, also including the Omicron variant cases that were on the rise in the entire country, keeping in that large gatherings should be avoided and political rallies must be done virtually is something that was announced by the Election Commission, and the ban had been set till 15th of January, and now we are being told that the EC has extended the ban on these political rallies to take place till now further January the 22nd. This keeping in mind the decision has come looking at the perennial rise in the number of cases of COVID in the poll-bound states as well, including highly populated states like that of Uttar Pradesh, and also otherwise where they are claiming that at this point to carry out large gatherings of political rallies will not be advisable. And for more details on this, let me go across to Aishwarya, who's breaking down the details. Aishwarya, now the ban has been extended till January the 22nd by the Election Commission. What more are you picking up?
Well, absolutely, and it's in black and white. It's a press note dated 15 January of the Election Commission of India. Timing is around 7 minutes prior to now. It says that ECI extends ban on physical rallies and roadshows until 22nd of January 2022. It also says that ECI grants relaxation for political parties to the extent that indoor meeting of maximum 300% or 50% of the capacity of the hall or the prescribed limit set by the SDMA, that is the state. ECI directs political parties to adhere to the provisions of the MCC and the broad guidelines of COVID. ECI directs states, district administrations to ensure compliance of all instructions related to the MCC and COVID, because the fact of the matter remains that despite decisions and instructions coming in, we've seen in the last 24 to 48 hours how different political parties across have just not been able to basically implement, and hence the net result has been that the fear of spread of COVID, and everyone is raising a question on the Election Commission, and hence Election Commission understanding the need of the hour and taking these adequate decisions and then extending the timeline till the 22nd. Back to you in the studio.
Well, yes, Aishwarya, this is also responsible campaigning, isn't it, for the political parties? Because we have seen that despite this ban that had been sent out by the Election Commission, we have seen gatherings like of the Samajwadi Party, of the visuals of which, in fact, are on your screen, viewers, where under the garb of a press conference where the SP had carried out a massive rally as well. Now the Election Commission has also announced that there will be an extension of the ban of political rallies till January 22nd. Ankit also joins us on the broadcast. Ankit, now this massive development with respect to the poll-bound states where in fact virtual rallies will be carried out. The political parties will have also said that they will have to carry out these virtual rallies, keeping in mind the number of cases of COVID that are being reported every day, isn't it?
Absolutely, Priyanka, and also our sources were spot on there. Republic the first to tell you that they will be extending the physical ban on rallies, ban on physical rallies rather, for another 7 days. However, we also have once again joining us Dr. Sanjeev Bagai. Dr. Bagai, you were with us a short while earlier. Now it has indeed come to pass. The EC has extended the ban on physical rallies. However, they have granted one exception, which is that if it is an indoor meeting, then up to 300 people or 50% of the maximum capacity of the venue can attend it. What do you make of these new guidelines and revised guidelines of the Election Commission, Dr. Bagai?
Yeah, I think the extension of the ban is justified. I think it should be extended even beyond 22nd. But no indoor gatherings, even if a gathering is of 5 or 10 people in a closed room, and if anyone is a symptomatic carrier or a polysymptomatic carrier, it can infect others. And we are not sure of what kind of crowd. 300 is very clearly a very large number. Even if it is at 50% capacity, much will depend upon the ventilation of the hall or the indoor. So indoor is a big no-no. But in any case, the outdoor ones has been banned. Now the question is really of the implementation of the rules and punishing the people who are not obeying the law.
Right, Dr. Sanjeev Bagai. Sanjeev Bagai, do stay with us. I also want to ask you, you are obviously raising an alarm over the fact that so many people cannot be allowed indoors. Should the EC also have considered some kind of vaccination mandate or some other more detailed guideline, do you think?
You know, you can have as many number of rules, but unless and until the political parties have a social and moral responsibility, there is no rule which is going to be obeyed on the ground. There will be some loopholes somewhere they can fix it or fly past it. And I think you have to set an example with exemplary punishment for anyone who's disobeying the law. You have to have a double vaccination as a minimum standard. You have to have an N95 mask as the minimum standard. But whatever we say here or whatever is said through any government official, the question is on the ground these things are very hard to implement and even harder to chase.
Absolutely. Dr. Bagai, let me actually put that point to a political representative. We have BJP national spokesperson and senior Supreme Court advocate Gaurav Bhatia joining us. Now, Mr. Bhatia, the Election Commission has extended the guideline and the ban on physical rallying. What do you make of this? And also, will you be following through and implementing these guidelines for all parties, including yourself?
The Election Commission of India and the guideline that it has laid needs to be respected. It is only fulfilling its constitutional obligation. And earlier also the Bharatiya Janata Party had welcomed the guidelines that were framed by the Election Commission of India. The extension of those guidelines again shows that the Election Commission of India prioritizes and it thinks that saving human lives is most important. This is the ideology of the Bharatiya Janata Party as well. However, I have one small request to make, being a citizen of the country, that yesterday the way Samajwadi Party flouted the guideline, their office should be sealed forthwith, and FIR has been registered and perpetrators of crimes should be booked and arrested. The reason is very simple. You cannot play with the lives of the citizens and give out a wrong message, which Mr. Akhilesh Yadav did. And Bharatiya Janata Party is committed to following every guideline that is framed by the Election Commission of India.
No doubt, no doubt. You're saying the BJP is committed. One more question I'd like to ask you, which is that some of the smaller parties have been saying that they find it difficult because they don't have the technological wherewithal to conduct virtual rallies at the same scale that maybe perhaps the BJP and the Congress do. They are in fact accusing you of making these situations favorable to yourself. Would you have a reply for them?
Three things I would like to say. First of all, मुहावरा वो याद आ जाता है, नाचना आवे आंगन टेढ़ा. So second is that everybody has the same time to develop an infrastructure and in this e-age to have, all the resources at their command to ensure they can reach out to the people. And third and most importantly, the constitutional body, Election Commission of India, needs to be respected. It will ensure a level playing field for all. But there are parties like the Samajwadi Party that started cribbing after the announcement because they know they are going to lose. So kahan pe ठीकरा फोड़ है, ठीकरा फोड़ने के लिए यही सब बहाने बनाएंगे.
One last question, Mr. Bhatia. Yesterday at the Samajwadi Party's rally, it said virtual rally. However, there were thousands of people at the venue. What do you make of these technical flautations that some of the parties do and then with a very straight face say that no COVID guidelines are violated?
It wasn't a technical violation. It was an intentional violation. And it wasn't a virtual rally. It was a virus rally spreading the COVID virus. And please do not forget the mindset of the Samajwadi Party, which called the vaccine BJP ka tika, and they tried to create vaccine hesitancy. And thanks to Yogi Adityanath ji, we have seen 22 crore doses of vaccine being administered in Uttar Pradesh alone. So that is the difference between the commitment between the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Samajwadi Party, and people are watching.